Hello everyone and welcome to another B-17 mission here on the World War II Solitaire board game channel. This is going to be episode 8, so yeah, we have done 7 episodes. We have not been very lucky. We have had 6 draws and 1 victory, so we're still in the winning since there has not been any defeats from the enemy. We still have our original B-17, that is Heaven's Way. Unfortunately, the last mission, our co-pilot was seriously wounded and sent home. So Rodrigo Buffett is out and Philip Merritt is in. He's our new lieutenant co-pilot. We have still our bombardier Johnny P. We have our navigator Rick Tor, our pilot, yours truly. We have our engineer Ronald Lee Ermy, he got 2 kills. We got radio operator Tom Martin, ball turret gunner Angus Young, port waist gunner Malcolm Young, starboard waist gunner Cliff Williams, and tail gunner Bon Scott. So we're gonna go ahead and roll straight away to see what mission we get. We roll on green 2 and we roll a 5, so that is one of the harder missions. That is gonna be Antwerp. I have bad memories from Antwerp. We note it here, and Antwerp is going to be an industry. Heaven's Ways, mission 8, and it's going to be 8 for this bomber. Antwerp, industry. We roll for B-17 position. We roll 9, so that is going to be in the middle. Then we roll for squadron position. We hope that we don't roll 5 or 6 this time and get low. We roll 6 again, so that's another low squadron position. That is not very nice. Look at the Gazette now. And for Antwerp, -2, -1, 0. So -2 becomes a -1. -1 becomes a 0. And 0 becomes a +1 with our squadron position. Yeah, so that's not good, getting that low squadron position again. I was really hoping that we would have a little bit of an easier time, but I'm guessing no. Antwerp is over here, so we go ahead and we go into the first zone, and we're good. We enter the second zone, and we have to roll now on B1, buff 1. And we're gonna have a -1 to the roll with the squadron position and flight Gazette modifiers. If we roll 4 or 5 or 6, we have combat 1 to 3, no combat. And we roll a 4, so that becomes a 3. That means we have 1 fighter wave. Roll for the fighter wave. That is gonna be 43, 43. We note that here. 43 on zone 2 on our way out. We also have to roll for fighter cover. Should have done that first, but it doesn't matter. Roll 4, so we have fair fighter cover. Let's go to the battle. Okay guys, so we got company Focke-Wulf coming from 12 o'clock high, and then at 1:30 level and 3 o'clock level we got 2 109s. We roll for fighter cover on the M4 chart. Roll 6, that is a very good roll. That means we drive 2 of them away. Let's get rid of this Focke-Wulf. And we'll also, let's see here, 3 o'clock level. I have a high chance of taking him out, so I'm actually going to leave him there. And let's hope we take him out, because otherwise we're going to have big trouble. So at 3 o'clock level, top and ball turret can fire. And then at 3 o'clock level, also the starboard waist gunner. And the starboard waist gunner is going to use spray fire. So let's go ahead and note the munition here. Top turret, ball turret. And then our starboard waist, we mark 3 boxes because we do spray fire. We roll for quality of the pilot. Close call, we roll a 10, so he's average. Would really not like him to be ace. Okay, we roll for the top turret now. To hit him, we need, let's see here, 3 o'clock level, 5 or 6. We roll 5, so that is in fact a hit. We roll for the hit, and since it's the top turret, we have a +1 modifier. And we roll 5, that turns into 6. The 109 blows up, and that is another kill for our top turret. Our top turret gunner is still the engineer, so that is his 3rd kill. So I don't know what our engineer is doing, but he's doing something good with those 3 kills. Ronald Lee Ermy, good job. Before we quit, we're gonna roll for the starboard waist gunner because he's applying spray fire in case he actually has a gun malfunction. Roll of 2, he does not. Let's go back to the travel map, but before we do that, we cross out wave 43 here. Okay, so we still have a ways to go. We enter zone 3. We roll for fire cover. We have poor fighter cover this time. And we have to roll for combat. We have no modifier. We roll on B1. We roll a 1, so we skip combat, thank God, with our poor fighter cover. We enter zone 4, and this is the very first time we ever go this far into enemy territory. That is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and roll for fighter cover. 6, we have good fighter cover over the target. That is good. We roll for our weather over the target. We roll a 4, so that is good weather. We roll for targets, and we are going to have a +1 since we are in a low squadron position. So we roll for B2 now, and I should roll 1 die. And we roll a 2, which turns into a 3. That is still just 1 enemy wave. Let's roll for the waves. 24, 24, all right. We note it here. 24 in zone 4. And let's go to combat. Oh wow, these guys are really trying to get rid of me now. We got 109s coming from all over the place. Most of them high, but at 10:30 we got high and level. We're gonna roll for fighter cover. We have good cover, so even with a roll of 1 now, we're gonna drive 1 of them away. But of course we hope to roll a 5 or 6. We do get a 1, that is fair. Sometimes that happens. We drive a 1 of them. We're gonna go with the 1 coming from high. Get rid of that 109. And let's see now what we're gonna fire with. 9 o'clock level. We're gonna fire them top and ball turret. And the port waist. And 12 o'clock high, we are gonna fire the nose turret. And at 3 o'clock high, we're gonna fire the starboard waist gun, and he will use spray fire, as will the port waist gun. So we are firing now with 5 of 9 machine guns. So this is more than half of our firepower is trying to save our poor B-17. Okay, let's see what we can do. We roll first for cruise pilot status, left to right, average, average, and average. Let's mark up the ammunition before we forget it. Ball turret, top turret, port waist for 3 boxes, nose for 1, and starboard waist for 3 boxes. We still have a lot of ammo, as you can see. So in these early missions, I think there should actually be a optional rule of not having to count ammunition, at least during the first 5 missions. Anyway, we look at this guy now. We have our ball turret. So Angus Young, let's see what you can do. At 9 level, he will hit on a roll of 5 or 6. I believe it is. Let's see here, 9 level. Yes. Sir, 5 or 6. He rolls a 2. Top turret, 5 or 6. He rolls a 6. That's very nice. That is our engineer again. I don't know what the engineer is eating for breakfast, but I should give it to all my men. He will have a +1 to his die roll. We need a roll of 4, 5, or 6 now. We get a roll of 2. That turns into a 3, so that's still acceptable. That means the fighter is going to break off after this attack. We still have spray fire from our port waste gunner. And he is going to roll on the M5 table. And I'm going to re-roll that. There was a 6. I dropped it here. It rolls a 5. That is fighter attacks normally. So spray fire does not have any effect. And we go with the nose MG now. I need a 6 to hit. And that is going to be Johnny the Bombardier firing. Johnny P. Johnny B has killed one guy before. He has hit several. So this is his, I don't know, 4th or 3rd hit. Let's see what damage he does. Johnny P makes the fighter break off and he gets a -2 modifier to his attack. And then we have our starboard waste gunner, Cliff Williams. He's firing spray fire. He's firing wild, trying to get this M19 to back off. And we really need to, because this 109 will hit us on a roll of 4, 5, or 6. So that's a very dangerous position to get an enemy. We roll on the M5 table. And we roll 3. That means fighter attacks normally. Ha. Okay, so let's get rid of our MG markers. Okay, so I'm still feeling pretty calm. We have 2 who are gonna fight, break off, and they have a -2, and this one is gonna be the problem. So for this guy, he will hit me at 9 o'clock. He will hit me on a 4, 5, or 6, so he will only hit on a 6. He has a -2. He rolls a 5, so he misses, and that means he's gonna break off. Same goes for this guy, 12 o'clock high, 5 or 6. He has a -2, so only on a roll of 6. Oh, he hits us. Okay, that sucks. We got to roll now to see how much damage. He rolls a 2. That is going to be, wow, 3 hits. Okay, that's not very nice. We go ahead and note this here. 12 o'clock high, 3 hits. And while we're at it, let's roll for this guy as well. He will hit from 3 o'clock level on a roll of 4, 5, or 6. And he rolls a 1, so we're lucky there, we get rid of him. So we need to roll for our 12 o'clock high, 3 hits. So look at the B5 table now. And let's roll 3 times. First hit 4. That is going to be superficial damage. 2 hits remaining. 10. That is going to be the tail. And final hit. We roll 8. That is going to be the wing. And we don't need to roll to see which wing. That is going to be the port wing. So let us go to our pink table now. And we'll check the tail first. Pink 6. We roll 2d6. We roll 2. That is going to be tail gunner's heat out. And that is going to be a problem because that means he's going to be get frostbite if we do not go down to 10,000 feet. We'll deal with that later. We'll note here tail gunners heat out. And then we have to roll for our port wing. So we roll on, that is going to be the blue chart, blue 1, 1. And we roll 9, that is going to be an engine. I can't believe it. This is the second time this happens to us. So we roll now. If port wing 1 to 3 is engine 1, 4 to 6, engine 2. It's going to be engine 1 again, just like last time. So we roll 1 to 2, it's superficial, 3 to 4, engine out, 5, runaway engine, 6, oil tank hit. And we have roll number 4 again, that is engine out. That is just what happened last time. It's not really a problem for us. We're gonna keep at the target. we're lucky to be over the target now, because when you have an engine out, you have to jettison on your bomb load if you don't want to have two combat checks for each zone. But we are over the target, so we're going to drop our bombs so that doesn't really hurt us. Jet engine out. But if we have another engine out, it is going to be a big problem. And for our tail gunners, heat, which is out, we'll decide later what to do. Heat out. We don't have to drop down to 10,000 feet, because if we do, we go out of formation. But if we don't, we will risk having him seriously wounded and sent home. Okay, so this guy, he fires at us, and he will break off. But as he passes the tail gunner, I will get a chance to fire with him as well. So that is what we're gonna do. And we'll note here tail gunner. And we roll for his guns. So now our tail gunner Bon Scott will hit on a roll of 6. And rolls 3, so it's a miss. And why it breaks off, since we have that marker on it. We take our mission chart here and we scratch out wave 24. And we're over the target, but we're not out of the woods yet. We have to roll for flak on 02. 3, that is fair, that is light flak. We are gonna roll now 3 times on 03 flak to hit B-17 on the light part. We roll 8, that is a miss. 2 more rolls. We roll 4, that is also a miss. Last roll, we roll 9, that is also a miss. Okay, we're still alive, we're still good. We have an engine out and heating out for the tail gunner, but I think we can do this. Come on, Johnny P. Bombardier, sights in. It's good weather. We should hit the target. On a roll of 3 or higher, we hit the target. And roll 6. Finally, we're on target. We roll now for bombing accuracy. And we roll 8. That is going to be 30%. That is definitely acceptable. Mark here, 30%. We're done. We go ahead and roll now as we turn back. Let's get the map back. We turn back towards England and we roll for fighter cover. We roll 6, so we have good fighter cover also on our way back. And we have to roll one last time now on the B2 table. So we're gonna get at least one enemy fighter wave. We roll on the B2 with no modifier. Okay, a modifier of +1. And roll a 4, which becomes a 5. That is going to be 2 enemy waves. First enemy wave is 24. And that is just what we just had, actually, that wave. 24. And then we have one more. Second enemy wave is going to be 41. So that's one that we're going to pass 100% with good fighter cover. So let's start with 24. Okay, so the 109s are back and they're swarming us again. We're gonna roll for fighter cover first. We have good cover, so we're guaranteed to get 1 away. And roll 6, that will get 3 of them away. Wow. Let's go ahead and get all of them which are at high position. And then we should also see this guy, 1 left at 9 o'clock level. We can fire with top and ball turret and port. So we go top and ball turret. Engineer fires, the ball turret gonna fire, and of course the port waste, and he shall use spray fire. We mark off the ammunition here for top turret, ball turret, and 3 boxes here for the port waste gunner. And we roll for his status, the pilot, that is, enemy pilot. And I just dropped one of the dice. Okay, so I dropped the die on the floor. We'll try again. and that is 8. He's an average pilot. We look now on the top turret. The top turret at 9 o'clock level needs a roll of 5 or 6. Engineer, that is Ronald again. He rolls a 5. Ronald hits again. His damage we roll for on M2. He will have a +1 and gets a 2. I wish he would kill him, but he doesn't get to do that. Ball turret, that is going to be Angus Young, 5 or 6. Miss. Port waist gunner, Malcolm Young, his brother, sends out a salvo, and we roll on M5. Roll a 1, that's an MG jam. Okay, that's unfortunate. We'll note that MG jam by simply taking this one and turning it to the blank side as we retreat it. So we roll for our German here. He needs a roll of 4 or higher to hit, but he has a -1 modifier. He rolls 5, which turns into a 4. Unfortunately, that is enough to hit from 9 o'clock level. So we roll to see how many hits, and he rolls 4. That is going to be 3 hits. Oh. See, 9 o'clock, roll 4, yeah, 3 hits. So we note here on the log, 9 o'clock level, 3 hits. And we check out the yellow chart or buff from 3 to 9. We have 3 hits to record. First hit is 8. That is going to be superficial damage. And second hit is 3. That is going to be wing attacking side. Okay, so the wing attacking side, that's going to be the port wing. And final hit, he rolls 6. That is going to be wing attacking side again. So we have 2 hits to deal to our port wing. So we go to our blue chart and we'll look at wing and hope we don't get one more engine hit now. That would be very bad. So we roll first. 6. That is going to be superficial damage. Thank you. We have 1 more to deal. This is really a brilliant part of the game. I have never enjoyed being shot down so much, but it's very exciting when you look at different wings, and when you learn how to do it, it also, it's quite fast and not very troublesome. Last hit now, 3. That is going to be wing root. So that's not too bad. We can read a note here of A. When a wing root has accumulated 5 hits over the course of a mission, the wing rips off and the crew must immediately bail out according to table G7. So we mark here wing, that's no E. Let's see, you should see what I'm writing to. Wing root, port wing, 1, you just draw a line. And if I get 5 hits on the port wing, it's gonna be, it's gonna rip off, and I don't think that's gonna happen, so I'm not really nervous about that right now. Perfect. Okay, so we have dealt all of the hits that we were required to. Now we have to roll on the bluff shard again on B6. And roll 6, so his new position is going to be 1030 level. So 1030 level is going to be here. And we'll see what defensive fire we can do. 1030 level port cheek. That is going to be our navigator. Our navigator Rictor fires. He will only hit on a roll of 6. He hits, rolls 5, so unfortunately that is not a hit. We should also check the ammo here for port cheek. Okay, so 1030, 1130 is at 1030. To hit, he needs to roll a 5 or a 6. And he rolls a 4. So that is the end of this attack. Okay, so we have our map back here because we scratched 24. We have wave 41 left. That is just 1 of 9. That's 12 o'clock high. But we have good fighter cover, so even if we roll a 1, we roll a 5. That would remove 3 enemy fighters. So you know that when you have good fighter cover, you know that you cannot have any battle with a wave that only consists of 1 enemy. So we move to zone 3 and we roll for fighter cover. We roll a 2, so that's going to be unfortunately now poor fighter cover. So one thing is going to happen in this zone, and actually it's not going to happen now, but remember that our tail gunner's heat is out. So the rules say the following about that. When any crewman's suit heat is out, the B-17 may travel for 1 more zone at the current altitude. So 1 more zone, that is zone 3 because it occurred in zone 4. And then we must drop down to 10,000 feet and become out of formation. If we don't, we have to roll for frostbite on a roll of 1 to 3. Frostbite, 4 to 6, no frostbite. And when we get back, we roll again. 1 to 2, he has a serious injury and has to amputate. 3 to 6, he recovers and may fly next mission. But so we don't have to do it now. We will do it in zone 2, and zone 2 is a better bet, to do it. Okay, so let's see now. We have to roll for on B1, and we have a -1 here. Actually, is neither a plus or a minus. So we roll, and on 1 to 2 we have no fighters, and we roll a 2, so there's no fighters. And then we go to zone 2, and we roll first for fighter cover. We roll 3, so that's going to be fair fighter cover. Pretty funny. We had fair, poor, good. And the question is now, should we drop? And I think we should do that. I want to save my tail gunner, so we drop out of formation. We leave the middle position. We go 10,000 feet. That also means we lose our squadron position, and we lose that +1 nasty modifier. So now we have a -2 in this zone instead of a -1. So that's pretty good. And luckily we are over the water now. Otherwise that means we would have to take flag fire. But if we look, we have to actually consult our Gazette because we could, we see here it says water on all of them. So we're not over land. So that's very fortunate in zone 2. But we still have to roll for enemy fighters. We roll on B1. On 3 or higher we have enemy fighters, but we have a -2 to our roll. And we roll 4, which becomes 2. So fortunately we have no enemy fighters to deal with. Return to zone 1. We're finally back in England. We roll for weather, and I'm going to re-roll that. We roll 8, so we have good weather. That's not very often you have good weather in England. And we land here on the landing strip, and we roll. And of course that is going to be a good landing. Whew. Okay, that was a rather eventful mission. But we have another victory, and that feels great because this is our second victory. We have bombed 30% of the target. The tail gunner's heat got out. We dropped to 10,000 feet to save him from getting frostbite. We have an engine out, engine number 1, and our wing, port wing has some damage to the root. But other than that, we're pretty good. We got a lot of ammunition left. We bombed the bomb run. Let's mark that here on the chart. 30%. We got that the last time also, so that is our second victory. So now we have 6 draws, 2 victories. We're still on the winning side. This was mission 8. That means we have 17 missions remaining. So we're definitely not out of the woods yet, but we are almost 1/3 through the campaign. So will we make it? There's no way to tell now. You're gonna have to watch the next episodes, my friend. I want to thank you for watching this video, and I hope you subscribe to the channel. If you're not, please subscribe. Commenting and liking helps me out a lot as well. If you want to do a little bit extra, you can become a member of the channel for $2.99 a month only. You become a supporting channel member. You can also do one-time donation through YouTube, Super Thanks, or PayPal. You will find the PayPal address in the video description. Thank you for watching. See you for the next episode.